What's going on, everyone? Rob the Random Jet Fan here. And I just want to take a quick minute and talk about Joe Douglas's press conference at the Combine. Typical JD fashion. He doesn't give too much. He's pretty tight-lipped. But there were a couple things that I noticed that he said that I really wanted to go over. First and foremost, of course, the quarterback situation. Is Derek Carr? Is Aaron Rodgers? One of the things that I thought was interesting was it was kind of contradictory. One statement he made, it sounded more like Aaron Rodgers was their guy. Another statement he made, it sounded more like Derek Carr is the guy. So as far as Aaron Rodgers goes, he said something along the lines of, it's not just based on us, me and the Jets and our front office and the GM. It's also up to the players, and they all have their way of going through things, and they're doing things their own way. And the Jets kind of just need to be patient in that sense and let them do what they gotta do. Of course, I'm kind of paraphrasing here. That wasn't exactly what he said. It was along those lines, though, and of course, that kind of alludes to Aaron Rodgers. As we all know, Aaron Rodgers, he's a weird guy, and he's going about things this offseason a different way than other quarterbacks normally would. So I feel like that statement kind of alluded more towards Aaron Rodgers. But what made it more sound like Derek Carr could be the guy was, he was asked about the Jets cap situation, and he said to the reporter, we're in a spot where we can create a lot of cap space if we need to. And to me, that screams more Derek Carr, because Derek Carr, his cap would be around $35 million or so, where Aaron Rodgers, about $59 million is a cash payout from the owner. So that has nothing to do with the cap hit. His cap hit would only be about $15 million. So do you need to create a lot of cap space to bring that in? Not necessarily. You need to create more, but just the way he said it, it sounded more like a big item purchase kind of. Like I said, alluding to Derek Carr, or dare I say, even Lamar Jackson. Those are really the only two quarterbacks that you need to create a lot of cap space for. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking into it too much, reading into it too much, or whatever. But to me, that kind of teetered towards going for Derek Carr. I talked about in my last video, Derek Carr's meeting with the Jets again. More specifically, Woody Johnson is getting in on the meeting. So I think this is going to kind of come down a little bit to what Woody wants. He's the one that came out and said, we're a quarterback away, quarterback's a missing piece. So I feel like if he meets with Derek Carr and he likes what he sees, he likes what he hears, I feel like he's going to kind of get in Joe Douglas's ear a little bit and say, make a move for Derek Carr. Another thing that was kind of interesting to me was talking about the whole offensive tackle situation, more specifically Mekhi Becton. He gave a little bit of a different answer than he did last year. Last year, it was kind of like, Mekhi is doing well, he's progressing as he should. Then he gets into camp, and of course everyone knows Mekhi comes in overweight. But during this press conference, he was really glowing and raving about Mekhi Becton, saying, he's in the best headspace. He's Joe Douglas has seen him in a while. He's in phenomenal shape. He's working hard. He went a little more in depth on the positives of Mekhi Becton's offseason than he did last offseason, which is great news. He also didn't commit to Mekhi Becton's fifth-year option. He didn't commit to Mekhi Becton being a starter. He openly said that, we're going to look, if we can upgrade that position, we will, which I think is the right move. I think they're kind of learning from their mistakes last year of kind of assuming Mekhi Becton would be healthy again and kind of handing him that starting position, even though it was an open competition. So I think they're kind of learning from their mistakes from that, which of course is great because you can't rely on Mekhi Becton. He hasn't played all that much. The Dwayne Brown situation, he was saying like they didn't really get into talks about whether or not he's going to retire and whatnot. something that popped in my mind of maybe a possibility. I don't know. You look at Dwayne Brown's cap hit as a post-June 1st cap casualty, which is around, I think, $6.5 million, something like that. I don't know if it's possible. Me personally, I never heard of teams doing this, but maybe go to Dwayne Brown, say, thank you for your service. You did great last year. We really appreciate the help. You know, you didn't have to push through, but you did. And, because of that loyalty, because, you want to play and help this team, we're willing to help you. So if you just openly say, okay, I'm going to retire, then we'll give you that post June 1 cut amount of about $6.5 million. We'll pay that to you in cash. Because, look, when he was talking about openly improving these positions, you can't rely on Dwayne Brown coming in either. And I know you can say, oh, well, he could be a high-level backup, maybe even a swing tackle. But, he's due to make like $14 million or something like that. He's due to make a pretty good chunk of change. So do you really want to pretty much bring back the same tackle group minus George Fant? Because I don't think they're going to resign him, who had a lot of injuries last year. Or would you rather just kind of rip off the Band-Aid? You have Max Mitchell, Mekhi Becton, and bring in two more guys. Draft one, sign one, whatever the case may be. To me, I'd rather just go that route. There's no reason for Dwayne Brown to be on this team right now and eat up as much cap as he is. He was he was a great leader. He played hard, played tough, played through injury, and we appreciate that as Jets fans. But I don't really know if that's the best fit for this team right now. But yeah, that's all I got. Just a couple of thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.